Hello. So I wanted to just make a quick video to speak to why using stones to work with the 8 extraordinary meridians. If you have watched that video about my new work with the ancient Taoist tradition of working with the 8 extraordinary meridians, then you will have heard me mention stones. If you haven't seen that yet, I will place a link to that below in the description. But I just touched briefly, like we use stones when working with the meridians, but I kind of wanted to dive a little bit deeper into that in this video, just to give some context to the depth that this modality and working with the stones, really the depth that we go. And that's why I say it is soul level healing, because it is going to the deepest, most ancient parts of us. And stones have the ability to do that. And so if you read ancient texts, most likely you haven't, but back in ancient days, stones were actually the first acupuncture needles. There wasn't a factory where stainless steel or gold acupuncture needles were made and manufactured. The ancients actually used stones. There's mentions of them being used deep in the Andes. And actually, the ancient Taoists were actually really good record keepers. And so there is actually a lot of recording of their work using stones. And that is where a lot of the wisdom comes from in working with this Taoist tradition. So if you think about going deep within us, going to the soul level, then you have to think, in a resonance way, what can get us there. And so if you know me, I love to work with plants and essential oils. I have worked with them for nearly a decade. It was one of my first experiences with working with things medicinally, but also for frequency and energy. And so I had been curious about stones. I've had some crystals sitting around my home, probably many of us do. And it was more of a just being attracted to them, but not really understanding why. And, I've had many opportunities over the years to study stone medicine, or I shouldn't say medicine, but study stones or crystals with different people who I deeply respect. But it was just like, for me, it was no. I'm always asking my body, is this for me? And I get this body yes, or gut no. And so I've just passed every time, there's been a stone class that was offered by someone. It wasn't for me. And then this landed with me, as I mentioned in the previous video, with working with the 8 extraordinary meridians. It was really like my soul was guiding me to remember the way that I've worked with stones in this deep way, not to this looks pretty, or I want to wear a necklace. I actually have a stone in my necklace. I often have, lots of bracelets, and it's like they feel good and they have beautiful energy, but it's like going to the depth of why they do what they do, and understanding that has really opened a lot in my own life. But the reason that they can do that is because they come from deep within the earth. So if you think of going deep within ourselves on the soul level, then you correlate that, and there's a resonance with going deep within the earth, and that's what the stones do. And so in working with the meridians, which the 8 extraordinary are the deepest meridians, again, remember, because they're not correlating with our organs, but there are these pathways deep within us. The stones can actually open them and bring forth these records for us to work with. So stones, unlike plants or herbs or medicinal things, they actually will provoke chi, move chi. When I say chi, it's energy, right? Can harmonize. If you think about quartz being in a watch or being in our electronics, is because they have this ability to move energy, to hold these records. And so this is why I'm working with stones. So stones are really record keepers in that they are like the library books of the earth. And I kind of had to sit with that for a while. Like, they hold the records, of the earth. And so this beautiful resonance with the soul, and our soul holds the records of who we've been and what we've experienced. And so there's a resonance that goes along with that, that goes with um, like time. So if it's something that we experienced long time ago, eons ago, stones have been around for that long, right? Because they've been around, most of them, some of them, as long as the earth. Whereas I love working with plants and I love working with essential oils, but those plants have not been around for hundreds of thousands of years, right? So the plant is, it blooms and blossoms and grows and you harvest it. And it's this process, it's this like continual process where the stones have been around for eons. So they have that really strong record keeping. So it's just a way that we're able to connect with him on a soul level. So I just really feel like you can't put it into words. It's interesting because a stone, I actually have 3 of them sitting here with me. I was kind of just asking the stones, who wants to be here today? And I have a few. I may pull them up on camera here in a moment, but it's like the stones can hold this frequency that nothing else can. If you're playing an instrument, or if you've ever witnessed someone playing an instrument or singing a song, and you're so taken by it, like you're drawn in, there's this frequency that you cannot explain through like words, or if you're rating a binary code, you can't go like, beep, 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 beep. That's what it was. It's just this feeling that comes across, this just, depth to this person. Their soul is singing the song, their soul is playing the instrument. And it's so beautiful because that's what the stones hold, that type of record, right? It's not just, oh, it was a song and it was beep, 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 right? Or la, la, la. It's just this, it's the consciousness, the story and the frequency of that is what the stones can hold. So lastly, I just want to share that stones can go to the yuan level. And I know you don't know what that means, and that's okay, but yuan is the deepest of levels in Chinese medicine. And so this is your genetics, your DNA, things that are chronic, that have been around for a long time, or in your family line, like an ancestral, something that's just been going and going, like there's this length to it, this time to it. So there's not something that like you're experiencing in this moment, but something that's been there for a long time, is this yuan, this deepest, deepest, deepest level. And that's what stones reach. So I only work with the highest quality of stones. And so I've been really, really meticulous on sourcing them. I actually have several here. So I've got, this is, it's kind of probably maybe hard to see, but some demortarite and quartz, actually. A beautiful morganite stone. I've worked with this several times working through the meridians, and it's a beautiful, beautiful heart healer. And then I have chiastolite, which I might turn that around, like pulling from the 4 directions. And so these stones have been sourced from the Mountain of Fire in Namibia. They've been sourced from the high in the Himalayas in Pakistan, from Nigeria, from India. I actually have stones from the Congo Republic, from Tanzania, actually near Mount Kilimanjaro. The jade that I work with comes from Guatemala. So they've been sourced very meticulously throughout the world, and are not heat treated and dyed. And that's really important to mention, because I'm working with pure, pristine stones. And so when we're working together through the 8 extraordinary meridians, and we're working with stones, there is just a beautiful depth that you will experience. And the beautiful souls that have gone on this journey with me have just had some really remarkable experiences that have really shifted things in their lives. And so if this is speaking to you, definitely reach out. There will be a link below on how to connect with me. And I would love to work with the stones, actually. I would love for the stones to work with you through the 8 Extraordinary Meridians. Thank you. Please subscribe.